Tuesday Night Football is here. It is December 21st. And yes, you heard that right. We got Tuesday Night Football. We got two games. The Eagles taking on the Washington football team and the Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the LA Rams. Now, I have my two favorite player props and two favorite spread or over-under picks coming your way. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. This is a little bit of a different format than what we normally do. Now, normally we have an individual game video. We'd have one for the Washington football team versus Eagles and Seahawks versus the Rams. But given that we got two games on today, why not just mash up and give you my favorite plays for both of the games? So we're just going to combine with them. And currently on week 15, we have been having a pretty good week. We're 8-2 overall. We cashed our money line parlay. Our same game parlays have kind of been slacking, but that's okay. We're trying to throw dart throws with those ones. But if you're new to the channel, consider clicking that subscribe button. We're trying to close to 20,000 subscribers. We can't do it without your guys' love and support. So do that. Also click the like button down below. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe share it with a friend. I would appreciate it. Now, let's waste no more time and let's hop into my favorite spread picks of the day. And we'll start with my first, spread and over under picks. And we'll start with my first one. I'm taking the Washington football team, Philadelphia Eagles, taking the under 42.5 points, minus 105 on DraftKings. Now, the injuries for the Washington football team, I don't have enough time to go through them. Too many to count, but they'll likely be down Taylor Heineke and his backup Kyle Allen today, turning over the ball to Mr. Garrett Gilbert, a guy that they just signed. And so I just don't see them being able to hold down the fort with him. Now, you also look, they'll be without several offensive linemen. It's going to be tough for them to move the ball up and down the field, especially against a very good Eagles defense. The Eagles are more or less pretty healthy today, but they'll be without, you look at the Washington football team, they'll be without a lot of guys. But I expect them to lean heavy on the run game led by Antonio Gibson. And in the end, I just don't think they're going to be able to score a lot of points, but they're going to try to just bleed the clock, keep the ball out of the Eagles offense, and really just try to move up and down the field, long drives like they did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a couple weeks back, that 10, 14-minute drive, whatever ridiculous drive they had. That's what they're going to try to do today because I don't think they want to throw it all too much. Now, I expect, you look at the ball, you turn over to Philadelphia's side on the offense. I think that is they get Jalen Hurts back, so they're going to go back to an even more run-heavy approach. And Jalen Hurts played the Washington football team once. It was last year. He went 7 for 20. So, not too good. 7 for 20 is not a very good completion percentage. What is that, 35%? Yeah, no chance. Now, the Washington football team defense is without some of their secondary, so that's going to hurt them. But we saw that happen to the Bears yesterday. And what happened? We got an absolute pillow fight of a game, 17-9, and it was really 17-3 the whole entire game. And you look at it, they really just couldn't do much. I think we should see a lot of guys. Maybe we'll see them try to double team the star receiver, which the Philadelphia Eagles don't have a lot of star receivers. But I think they'll be playing a lot of back coverage, let them run the ball, and see what happens. And you look at the strength of this Washington football team defense. It's on the front line. It's their defensive line. And you looked at what happened with the Bears yesterday. That defensive line stood up. They knew their secondary was banged up. The guys on the front stood up, and they said, we're going to hold down the fort for this team. So I'm going to take that. They're going to force Jalen Hurts to make some throws to beat them. They're going to let the defensive line work. And I think the Eagles will be able to score some points, but this is a team that's very run-heavy in their approach. They do not want to throw the ball all too much, and you'll see that in my favorite player prop of the day in this game, but I'll take the under. I love Jalen Hurts. I root for his success, but he just has not been throwing the ball all too well this season, and I'll ride with the under, and I hope it to be a very big pillow fight like we just got on the Bears versus Vikings game last Monday night. Now, moving on to my other spread pick of the day, it's a little bit of an interesting one. Taking the Rams, but to win by 1 to 13 points. That is their winning margin. That is plus 140 on FanDuel. If you want to open up a FanDuel account, use my link down below, dimers.com/COS for an important sign-up bonus. Now, you look at it, this is a FanDuel-specific bet, but I'm sure some other books have like a winning margin type bet, and I'm just counting on the Seahawks to keep this within 13 points. Now, obviously, I do expect the Rams to win this game. I'm not going to bet their money line because what is that, like minus 250? I'm not going to do that, but I do look at it, and I think they got a good chance to win, the Seahawks to keep this game close, but also to lose. Now, you look at the Seahawks, they are kind of turning around. They've won 2 straight games, and the Rams have turned around and started to gain some momentum, too, for their season. And truthfully, I just never can count out Russell Wilson. He always seems to keep games close, and I think that's what he'll do today. Now, over the years, when the Seahawks have traveled on the road to take on the Rams, whether that's been in LA or in St. Louis, they have struggled. Now, since the last 7 games on the road versus the Rams, they were just 1-6 straight up. They have not looked too good. All of those games have been started by Russell Wilson, who will again start today. Now, more importantly, in those 6 losses, because with this bet, we do want the Seahawks to lose. They've only lost by 14 or more points just once. They've kept it close pretty much every single time, all of their 5 games. We're getting this at plus 140 value, and I really could see this game coming pretty closer than some people might expect. Now, the regular spread is 6.5, 7 points, but I do think they have a good chance to keep this one close, and the Rams haven't been blowing out a ton of teams. You look at them, they're 9-4. Only 4 of those wins have come by more than 2 touchdowns, so 14 or more points, which would screw this bet today. Those teams have been the Bears, the Giants, the Texans, and the Jaguars. Now, no offense to those teams, and all of you have been eliminated from the playoffs, But you guys aren't good. And I'm not saying the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL. Absolutely far from that. But I think this bet is worth the odds, plus 140 odds, just to keep the game 1 to 13 points, but a Rams victory. I'll take my chances on FanDuel, and I'll ride with it. Now, let's move on into my 2 player props. And the reason this video is posted normally later than we normally do, it's because we don't have any lines. So I'm going to give you my 2 player prop leans. I'll put them on the screen now, and we'll talk about them each. Now, first one, Russell Wilson under in completions. Second one, Jalen Hurts under in passing yards. Yes, we're rooting for unders today, apparently. Now, Russell Wilson under in completions. We took this last time he played against the Seahawks, and it would have cashed, but he got injured in that game, so it cashed even better. So he only had 11 completions, but he has really struggled against this LA Rams defense completing pass. Now, the only reason I don't love listing both of these props is because we don't have any player prop lines for any of these games. I mean, I record this at 7 a.m. We don't have any of them. So maybe we'll update you down below in the pinned comment section. I'm just going to talk about these plays while they're on the left on the screen now. Over his last couple games against the Rams, he's at 11, 20, 22, 22, 17, 17, 13, 14, 24 completions against his team. He's normally not going above the 20 line all too often. And at the Rams, he really has struggled as well. Now, I just look at this matchup. I assume the line will be right around 19.5. We'll see. If the line gets super low, we're not going to take it. But if it's around 19.5, 20.5 completions, I can ride with that because look at the Seahawks offense really has been struggling. Now, they got it going last week against the Texans, but come on. It's the Houston Texans we're talking about. So I like the under for Russell Wilson. We'll see what the line is, and then we'll really make a decision. So don't officially lock it in once you see it. Just check the pinned comment section and see if we're riding with it tonight. Now, the other one, Jalen Hurts, we're taking his under in passing yards because, truthfully, you look at this guy's couple passing yards games. Here's what he's combined for. He's combined his 129, 147, 178, 162, 103, 236, 115, 198. He's gone under 200 yards in 7 of those past, 6 of the past 7 games. He's gone under 200 yards. Now, I have no idea what the line will be. Hopefully, it's in the 200s. Because, yeah, the Washington football team defense hasn't been great this season. No, it hasn't. Their secondary has really struggled. So the guys coming in to fill up the backups coming in, they can't really possibly be worse, right? I mean, you saw even the Bears secondary, which hasn't been, the best all season. Their backups even came in and looked pretty decent against Kirk Cousins, which, granted, that's Kirk Cousins on primetime. But still, Jalen Hurts really has struggled passing the ball. I mean, he's completed 45% of his passes in the last game, 54 the game before. He's just really struggled throwing the ball. And this is a game that I really do like the under, like we talked about earlier in this video. And I just don't think he's going to overall throw a lot of passing yards, especially against the Washington football team. I think gun to my head, I'm not taking his over, whatever the yardage is, unless it's like 150 yards, because he should be able to throw for more than that. Although he hasn't thrown over 150 yards in his past 2 games, coming back from an injury as well. So I run with Jalen Hurts under in passing yards. We'll see what the line is, and then we'll update you in the pinned comments down below. Sorry we don't have a line. Like I said, it's a little tricky. We don't have lines for, given all the injury issues, the books are being they're just like, nope, we're not giving you lines. That happened yesterday when we had Dalvin Cook's over in rushing attempts. We didn't get a line until 7 o'clock, which is an hour before kickoff. So hopefully that's not the case today. Hopefully we get some lines closer to lunchtime, and we'll see if the books kind of are being nicer to us today. Still, it's Tuesday night football. You never know what to expect, but I'll ride with those 4 plays. We're talking Jalen Hurts under in passing yards, Russell Wilson under in completions, and then, of course, the under in the Washington football team Eagles game, under 42.5, and the Rams to win by 1 to 13 points. Hopefully Tuesday night football is nice to us. We've been 8-2 on the week so far. Hopefully we can finish, 12-2 would be nice, but if we can just go 10-4, 11-3, that would be an awesome slate, awesome week 15, and then we'll do a recap later tomorrow when the podcast goes live. We'll have week 15, or our 17th episode of the podcast, something along those lines. We appreciate you for tuning in. This has been Austin. Hopefully we can go make some money on Tuesday night football, something we will probably not see for a long, long time, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been Austin. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.